Hello there. I'm actually nervous. We're gonna be broaching a topic today that a lot of people get heated over. And about someone I'm really excited and passionate about. Sonic means a lot to me, man. Sonic is what every gamer, fellas, gamers, everyone has a video game that showed them what video games could be. For some people it was Half-Life, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy. For me it was Sonic Adventure 2. That's like the game that showed me the power of video games. Not just to be fun, but to really impact you emotionally and leave well, not to use the same word, but leave an impact on your life. I'm nervous to talk about this game, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I forgot that there was a new animation that came out today, so we're gonna watch that. I have not seen the animation. All I know is that it's centering around a certain character that has been, well, like all of the characters of Sonic, has been highly mischaracterized for over a decade. And I am so glad. Apparently they get this character right in this animation, so I'm excited for that. So I'll try to maintain some sort of... Where's my... Oh, here it is. I'll try to maintain some sort of structure. I have some notes that not very extensive notes, but notes on, a bullet list on where to go. My voice is actually shaking. I'm very nervous. But yeah, let's get started. Let me turn off the music. Okay, we are going to be reacting to this animation. Okay. I do not know anything about what happens in this animation. We will talk about the animations in a sec, but let's watch this one. Let's try and enjoy ourselves. Let's get in the... Here we go.
Angel Island, a land of miracles, of mysteries, my home. I am its guardian. I watch over the Master Emerald and every living thing here. That is to say, all the plants and animals. Any other kind of civilization has long since disappeared from the island. I do things on my own, and that's just how I like it. I don't need anyone else to get by. But sometimes, I wonder how things would be if I hadn't been given this responsibility. Why was I chosen for this duty? Perhaps it's karma. Thousands of years ago, my ancestors attempted to steal a power that wasn't theirs.
Whoa.
The question is, whose power was it originally?
What?
Who built this shrine to the emeralds? And where did they go?
No way. Huh? Is that... Okay.
To protect my home, I need to know every possible vulnerability. I've explored the island top to bottom, but I still manage to find something new every day. New routes between regions, Ruins of different Echidna tribes, and remnants of some group that came before.
Whoa, what's going on in the background? There's...
Hold on,
Whoa.
little guy. I'll help.
Look at what he's pulling. Is that one of the things? The Cocos, I think they're called?
Huh? Hey, there. Here. This is what you were looking for, right? Huh? This is different. Oh.
Whoa. That's one of the things. Traveling points.
It looks old. Even older than these ruins. I wonder...
What is the red lightning? What is that?
What was that? What? Where am I? This isn't my island. Is this another one of your tricks, Eggman? Show yourself! Oh, an ambush, huh? Your funeral.
Yo! Yo! Whoa! Dang!
Whoever's behind this better show yourself now. We'll settle this in a fair fight. And after I win, you'll send me home. Got it? On my own. That's just how I like it. I don't need anyone else to get by. But sometimes...
Whoa! That was incredible. I was not expecting it to be that good. Holy cow. That was insane. Holy cow. Okay, so I gotta... My notes did not account for this. My notes did not account for me encountering good Sonic the Hedgehog content. Wow. Okay, for one thing, it for some reason got really cold in this room, so give me one sec. I'm gonna go grab a jacket. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so allow me to collect my thoughts. Okay, so I guess a good place to start. Well, I guess first of all we'll go through this trailer real quick. The trailer, or I guess, wow, the fact that I said trailer, that's a really good compliment to this animation. I'll explain that in a minute. But man, we got a recap, uh, almost of Sonic Adventure 1. Like this whole scene where he's explaining that he's the only one here and he doesn't exactly know why. That's like line for line, bar for bar, what was in Sonic Adventure 1, which is that's pretty much where we get the bulk of Knuckles' character, at the very least explained to us with words in Sonic the Hedgehog as a series. It looks amazing. There's the flashbacks to Sonic Adventure 1 and the events that happened there. There's a hint here that that not Shadow, Chaos is still present, but you see there's the reflection of a red light. Let's see here. There it is. And so at first I thought that might be a reflection of the red thunder that's in the sky, which I don't know what that is. It's been a really long time since I played Sonic 3. I don't know if it's in there. I don't think it is. But it also might be the new character Sage, who, shall I say, looked monumentally better in this 2D animation than she does in the actual game. Holy cow, she looked amazing. In terms of design, like, I'll get into later, but I'm not a fan of Sage's design. That's Tikal, the red ball. Oh, that's Tikal. Also red. Great to see you here. But Tikal was more like orange in terms of like her little light. That's Tikal, really? I guess it would follow, with the drop that's supposed to be chaos. I guess it's not remnants of them, but maybe echoes of them, Maybe. It could be either or. Um, but yeah, we see that. A lot of stuff going on in this. I'm wondering what the red stuff, like the red thunder. And these are like, I guess this is Sky Sanctuary, That's pretty great. See the Chao. Man, so many Chao after so many years. That's awesome. Knuckles takes care of them. This one seems to like find. That looks like some of the Coco from the new game. And he finds a gear and a. This is like a fast travel point in Sonic Frontiers, I'm pretty sure. And he fights these guys, which look. Again, these guys look so much better in this animation than they do in Frontiers. That's just a personal thing, but I can actually go into why I think Sage looks better in this animation than in the game. But anyways, okay, so that's basically all that happened. Knuckles gets trapped in this animation. Okay, now that's enough of going through the animation. I think to start off, I guess the larger point of this stream, which is to talk about my thoughts about Sonic. Let me get some music going. My thoughts about Sonic and what I think of Sonic. So, in terms of this trailer, I keep calling it a trailer. I guess I should explain why. That means something to me. In terms of the animations, all the animations that we've gotten from Tyson Hesse, which are all amazing, by the way. I love each and every one of them. I love Tyson Hesse as a creator. He's amazing. But there is a certain cynicism that comes with the animations because they're usually attached to games like Sonic Mania or what's it called? That Sonic racing game. Was it called All Stars Racing? I don't remember. There is the Child in Space one, which doesn't suffer from this issue, and this one actually overcomes the issue I'm about to talk about. The animations at the time were heralded as Sonic coming back and really being amazing, like coming back from being mediocre, when in reality the animations were just cool animations. Which, don't get me wrong, they are amazing, but they weren't bringing back Sonic. Sonic was still suffering hard. Team Sonic Racing, that's what it was called. Thank you, Red. But this animation, oh, and I guess to go further that point, the animations felt like people were gaslighting themselves from the animations being amazing to Sonic being amazing, and I didn't like that because I want actual Sonic games to be good. This and those games were like basically advertisements for the games that they were a part or that they were installed. It's did something happen? Oh no. It's not the animation's fault, it's the game's fault that they're not great. The developer and corporate side of things. So this animation being great, hinting at the story, I'm hoping, I am praying that it's indicative of what to come. Because the story in this animation is very simple, but it has a lot of implications, and I hope that the implications are well fleshed out, well developed. This trailer again, I call it a trailer because it's a good trailer. It makes me hopeful for Sonic Frontiers. And now that that's a good segue to talk about Sonic Frontiers, shall we discuss it? Let me go back to this screen. All right. Yeah, turn this down a little bit. On my side, it's a little loud on my side. I legit believe that even if the gameplay is garbage, the story will be good. That's what I've been thinking too. They've got Ian Flynn on the writing the story. It's kind of a monkey's paw wish, because yes, Ian Flynn is writing the story, but it is an open world game, and because it's open world, you can't have the story being very present? I don't know. My words are failing me, but you can't have the story be very what's the word I'm looking for? Where it can't be urgent. The story cannot be urgent. The story has to assume, or I should say the writer, Ian Flynn in this case, has to assume that the player will not automatically go to the next stage or the next story location. So he should either write it so it flows naturally, that there's no urgency to go there, or make it like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is a good example of a simple story, or an open world story, that kind of... Sorry, I'm tackling way too many topics at once. Let me start over. Breath of the Wild has a very simple story. It doesn't tackle like too much complexity because the way the story handles an open world setting is pretty good. Your objective is beat Ganon, and everything you do in the game, or almost everything you do, contributes to beating Ganon. Getting stronger, getting better resources, activating those robots, I forget what they're called, exploring to, all of this is furthering that goal. I should say, I don't prefer Breath of the Wild story. It's a little too simple for my taste. But it is a good story nonetheless. Now, Sonic's story. I don't know how they're going to tackle it. Good example of good stories in open world games are the new Spider-Man games. I played half of the first Spider-Man game. I never played Miles Morales, but I really liked the story in that game. It was a good story, or a good way of handling an open world story. Now I'm imagining an open world Sonic where it has a Left 4 Dead Rising style time limit. For Dead Rising style. Oh, I heard about that years ago when the game came out. I think the main character, their daughter, is infected with the zombie virus, and you have a time limit, basically. That could be something that they could do, but I would rather not theorize about what they're going to do. I'd like to talk about gameplay of Sonic, because I have no doubt that at the very least, Sonic Frontiers story will be competent. The characters, we'll just have to wait and see. Knuckles seems pretty great. It was amazing to see Knuckles just tearing it up, getting stuff done. Oh my goodness, it was kind of haunting in the end where he was all alone and no one was there to help him because he always spends his time all alone. I mean, it's not like he has a choice, but it was kind of, and him just screaming in terror. That was kind of, ugh. We'll have to see what they do with Sonic and the rest of the characters. I know Amy's going to be in the game. Tails might be. From what I've seen of his channel, of the Tails channel, or the Tails videos, it sounds like he might be. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, I guess this is a good point of any to discuss. Where is it? Where is it? A Sonic game without Tails? They could do it. I wouldn't like it. Many people wouldn't, but they could do it. There was a video. I'm going. So I have my Twitter feed up, or at least I made sure to search whenever I mentioned Sonic. Okay. So, Roger Craig Smith. Sonic game without Tails? Yes, Texan would be furious. Game without his boy? Bruh. He would be... Anyway, let's discuss Roger Craig Smith. I feel bad for Roger, I really do. He has... If anything, they will always have tales such as Lost World and Colors, exceptions being Storybook. Yeah. Although I don't think people like Tales in Lost World, at least. Colors was... Colors is weird. Colors is weird to talk about in terms of story and character. It's so simple to the point where I actively dislike it. You can have simple stories that are good. One of my favorite movies ever is 1917. Amazing film. Astonishingly simple premise. But the execution is so phenomenal that it blows me away every time I watch it. But it is possible to have a simple premise that is, or a simple story that is too simple, to the point where it is frustrating how simple it is. That's what I think about Colors. Colors story, at least. But Roger Craig Smith, I feel bad for him, because, holy cow, he's been given a very hard, well, not hard job. I don't think he was given a fair role to play. Like, Because all of his outings as Sonic, he's been this very bombastic guy, which Sonic is, to be fair, but I don't know if it's the direction or just Roger's voice and he was just cast incorrectly. Like, not many people I know, if any, like Roger. Which is not Roger's fault. I'm not talking about Roger as a person. Roger as a voice actor playing Sonic. He's just... I don't think he fits. He sounds like a surfer bro. I'm gonna come out and say it. Let me see, I have the actual thing here. So I'm gonna play a little bit of audio from Sonic Frontiers that has been, I guess it's a leak? I'm not sure if it's a leak or not. There's no spoilers here, I don't think. But if you're worried about that, I guess plug your ears for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ready, go. I said go. He's gonna speak sometime.
Tails?
Here we go.
Amy?
Tails is in the game.
Looks like I'm the only one who made it out of that. Whatever it was.
Mortal,
Ugh. Hello?
you have done the impossible. You have escaped cyberspace through your own power. You are the key.
Key, huh? Sure beats being called a rodent. Are you saying I can rescue my friends?
Find the Chaos Emeralds. Destroy the Titans. Tear down the walls between dimensions.
Yeah, okay, sure. How about a little context? Hello? Oh well. Some direction is better than none. Here we go.
Okay. That's... See, this is why I feel bad for Roger, because when Roger was cast by Sega or Sonic Team, whoever makes that decision, he was cast at a time where he was very bombastic and always, hyperactive, excited. So, for example, when I'm talking like this with a serious tone, my voice is deeper, versus when I talk like this and my voice is really high now. It's something like that. So without that bombastic emotion, this is what we're left with for Roger. And it's simply not Sonic. It just isn't. It doesn't... The Sonic has had emotional moments where things slow down. Let's see. Ryan Drummond, because I see Red has mentioned Ryan Drummond. There wasn't too much for Ryan Drummond to grasp on. Let's see. In Sonic Adventure, there wasn't... Sonic Adventure is not great for the voice acting. Let's not kid ourselves. Sonic Adventure 2 is where things really come out, especially towards the end. The ending, where Roger's really allowed to play a role where you have a bombastic character that has to slow down because of the tone of the scene, of the ending scene especially. But Ryan Drummond, he didn't have a lot of work. He had Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and then Heroes. Then you had Jason Griffith. Jason Griffith was very okay. He was very, very okay. But he was getting better at the end of his tenure, and then they replaced him with Roger. And Roger, I've never felt he's a good fit. It's unfortunate. Let me put the music back on. It's unfortunate because it's not his fault. The man has talent. Just, I don't think he fits as Sonic. Let's see here. He has sort of a, like the inflection of his voice, especially when he goes deeper. Especially he's always had this, but especially when he goes deeper, he has a very Surfer Bro inflection. Like I don't know if I can. It's hard to find any examples in this clip.
Hello?
Like, that's a very small bit. It's hard to find examples, but it's like, instead of saying hello, he says hello, hello, like a very very large emphasis when he, in the O. Hello, hello, like, I don't. It's hard to explain. You have done the impossible.
Key, huh? Sure beats being called a rodent.
Sure beats being called a rodent.
Are you saying I can rescue my friends?
Are you saying I could rescue my friends? Like, if somehow by some weird black magic Roger ever sees this, I'm not criticizing Roger. I just don't think he's a good fit. Have you heard of Sonic and Tails R? Ryan voices Sonic in a radio-like adventure show. He does a very good job balancing the cool moments and the dire moments. Oh yeah! I did listen to that! That was awesome! I completely forgot about that! You're right! Holy cow, if you ever want to listen to a version of, like, Sonic characters that treat the characters with respect, holy cow, treat yourself to Sonic and Tails R. Go on YouTube and search specifically Sonic and Tails R by Emu Emmy. She did a phenomenal job. But holy cow, yes, that is a fantastic example of Ryan Drummond just hitting it out of the park. And that's like, that's recent. That was either a year or two ago. So between Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Heroes, he did that. Like, holy cow, he still got it. Also, I just realized there's some weird stuff going on with my setup here. Let me fix it real quick. There we go. Aha. My shoulder pad obscures the chat. Now, but y'all, let me replay this, especially with the friends part.
It's being called a rodent. Are you saying I can rescue my friends?
Are you saying I can rescue my friends? Again, I'm not criticizing him. This delivery, if this is direction, it's not good direction. And if it's just how Roger speaks, it's not a good casting choice, and that is not Roger's fault. In neither of these scenarios is it Roger's fault. I want to make that clear. He could have sounded better if he hung on the words like, are you saying? I don't necessarily agree or disagree. That would just be a different take, you know? A different take on the sentence. It could be good, or it could be better or worse. I don't really agree or disagree. It's just the inflection itself. I'm not a fan of it. Oh yeah, hold. One thing that I want to also mention is that Ryan Drummond and Jason Griffith were very similar in terms of their performance. Very similar inflection. Very similar direction they took the character. It has to have been either a dev decision or a corporate decision, whoever makes those choices. It had to have been a decision to change how Sonic's voice is perceived, at least in English. Because one thing that you'll notice, especially in stark contrast to this very small clip, mind you, this is not the whole game. One thing you would notice completely, and I noticed this while I was playing, you know, several of the Sonic games, Ryan Drummond and Jason Griffith had very good enunciation for Sonic. Very clear, crisp, very good enunciation from the character, which is not completely, butchered. I don't want to insult Roger. He is, speaking clearly. He's not a numpty. He's not an idiot. But it's listening to this and then listening to what you see is what you get. There's very clear enunciation, crisp understanding of the dialogue. That's just not here. But we can't really determine how the characters are going to be written until we actually see the game. So now we're going to be speaking about gameplay, which is, I think, what Sonic needs help in the most. Well, actually, no, I think he needs help equally in both gameplay and story. Yeah, hearing Ryan change to Jason, it was like, oh, he sounds different, but still sounds cool. I heard Jason change to Roger, and it took me forever to get used to a new voice. I never got used to the new voice. I have never, ever heard Roger and think, yeah, that's Sonic. I know that's kind of cruel to say. I didn't mean it to come off as cruel, but it's the honest truth. I'm sorry. He's just, I don't think he was cast very well. I kind of feel bad, but that's just the honest truth. But so I'm just going down. Well, first, let me get out my notes to go over gameplay. So, first of all, before we go over gameplay, we have to ask ourselves, what is Sonic? Not the character. What is Sonic, the game series, at least? The main titles. What is Sonic the Hedgehog, the franchise, the intellectual property? Sonic the Hedgehog is a platforming franchise, first and foremost. If we don't agree on this, then we can't... Yes, fast action platforming, exactly. If we don't agree that it is at least some form of a platforming game, then we can't move on. Because that is the DNA of Sonic, or at least it should be. The DNA of Sonic has to be based in platforming. That is the foundation of which the franchise was built upon. It was built to counter Mario. Sega wanted to counter Mario, and for that they built another platformer, because you want to counter a platformer with a platformer, or else you're not even in the same market, you're not even the same area. Switch some stuff around real quick. Right. I think it's very important that Sonic sticks to his DNA, sticks to his foundation, goes back to his roots. His, what's it called? I'm looking for a specific word. The basics, the fundamentals. Goes back to the fundamentals. You gotta go back to the fundamentals if you want to make a satisfying Sonic game. That's a word I really want to emphasize, satisfying. Now, let me ask you. Give me a moment. Does this look satisfying to you? Just watch. Does this come off as satisfying? So, we'll talk about this in a second. It's too slow. See, I agree, but not... In a way, I agree. I do agree, but we gotta talk about, what about this screams platformer? What about this? Like, I would believe this is a, you know, time trial or a racing game if I just saw this opening. This opening, like, look at this wide open space with nothing in it. Just rows of rings, these cars, nothing. There's a speed pad there. Even though the game gives you rings and this game has the boost formula, you can, like, look at this. There's nothing for such a long stretch, which isn't a problem if when you do encounter stuff, there is stuff like, there is satisfying obstacles, but you have this whole area over here. See, the thing is, this footage, if I remember correctly, was released. Let me do some stuff real quick. If I remember correctly, this footage was like released to like, yeah, this was released by IGN. This is like footage. Now, maybe it's a testament to how horrible IGN is at their jobs, but this is not good, like, coverage. This makes the game look bad, because over here we have this whole section over here that gets skipped by this section here where he jumps into the ring and he gets thrown over here. Now, I'm not criticizing the fact that there's a shortcut. I like that. That's cool. But we don't get to see what the game has to offer in terms of platforming. But I don't expect it to have much based on how the games have been for the last decade. So he skips this part, goes over here, straight onto a pad where he goes a straight line. That's okay. They just got to connect him to the road. So I guess this is a runway of sorts. And then another open area with nothing in it. You could go here. There's another straight open road, but this time it's more narrow. Ooh. But he jumps over here to this, you know, ring, which goes further. Again, there's all this stuff, but here we can see sort of what we can expect from the platforming. Here, there's another open road with a ramp that I assume would get you a better start on this next platforming section that we see over here, which is, what the heck is that? It's boxes. The bane of every Sonic game since Sonic Unleashed, I think. A lot of Sonic platforming for the last decade has been boxes. Just these things. And so I imagine if you were over here, you would just jump, and then get started over here, because I think that's a boost pad right there. Or maybe that might be a boost pad right there. But he skips this and goes directly here, which is like, okay, cool, fine. Shortcut. More stairs. That's platforming, guys. They do move left and right, but he goes to this. This is like a main route where you just get flung past like just a large distance. I assume for flair, for spectacle. You go on a 3-lane rail where you gotta make sure to jump to the other one or else you get hit with the spike. Then there you go down there, more 3 lanes, and I guess it keeps going till you get to land. But this player chooses to jump into the ring. Good on them. They have good reflexes. Another rail, another thing, and it ends. I'm not seeing a lot of platforming. Where is my platforming? Where's the fun? This doesn't look fun. This looks like a straight, you know, dash to the finish. Which, to be fair, that's what City Escape was. City Escape, which this level is modeling itself after. So, what then? This level is a dash to the finish, it looks like, from what I can deduce from this extremely short footage. It looks like a dash to the finish. That's what City Escape was. What's the problem? Well, here's the thing. Escape from the City my brother played it yesterday, and immediately upon noticing, or sorry, he didn't play it yesterday. We saw a streamer playing it, but he immediately noticed how good the design is for City Escape in terms of it being the first level of Sonic Adventure 2. It drops you on an incline with I guess a snowboard you would call it, taking a little bit of control away from the player, but allowing them enough control so that they can grasp the concept of moving the left stick to get the character from place to place. If you're adventurous enough, you try to get a little bit more air when you go on the ramp, you realize that you can do tricks for points to get extra points and stuff. The section is meant to show you to allow you movement, and so you can grasp what movement is in this game, but also to show you, explore things a little bit. That you accomplish that with the ramps, but you also accomplish that you need to have high reflexes in this game because of the right angle turns in City Escape. Turning in those parts can be a bit of a thrill. It could be really satisfying when you pull off a turn, but it's also frustrating when you go smack dab into the wall and you're going at a snail's pace. But that game wasn't afraid to punish you, sometimes really hard, for not doing as well as you could have. But that was... Let me open this coat. Now I'm getting a little hot. But it was just good design from the beginning. Then throughout the level, you get bits of platforming with rails, with using enemies as stepping stones, breaking boxes, bottomless pits with moving platforms. But here's the thing. This level, I imagine, if we saw any enemies, would have some of that stuff. It would have, we've seen the bottomless pits, we've seen the moving platforms, stuff like that. The rails, I guess, could be construed as a way of showing the player, movement, but although limited movement. But what's the difference between these two things? That's what I'm trying to get at. What is the difference between City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2 and this level from Sonic Frontiers? It's the emphasis on platforming. And I'm not talking about the emphasis on, level design, although we will get to that. One thing that we noticed, my brother and I, when we were watching that streamer play Sonic Adventure 2, is that they didn't realize how, in a platformer, this is an innate thing, the platformers, innate. It teaches you about shortcuts a bit, I guess, yeah. But something that's innate to platforming is that when you press the jump button, most of the time, in most platformers that I've played at least, a whole lot of them, enough to where any gamer that plays platformers knows to test this right off the bat. Most platformers have it to where when you jump, the longer you hold the button, the higher you go. Enough platformers do that where most gamers who play platformers test that straight away. They, get a feel for the controls. Get a feel for what is your range on ranged attacks? What is your range on, really close attacks? Like how far do they go? Just, getting used to the game feel. This streamer, however, did not know that. And not really... I don't want to harp on the streamer, even though I'm not saying their name. Sonic has not been about platforming for a long time. Sonic, I feel nowadays, prioritizes speed and spectacle more than anything else. The music back on. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it was on. Never mind. I have my headphones off. So, this short section that we saw, and there are other sections that I've seen in this game, they do not look like they're prioritizing platforming. They're looking like they're prioritizing going fast and keeping going fast. But the thing is, this isn't a momentum-based game. Sonic does not have momentum. They aren't used to Sonic's slower, more platforming days. Exactly. I feel like Sonic's team has lost touch with what Sonic should be, and I do believe Sonic should be a certain way. Not because I'm an elitist and I think that my opinions are always right, but I think that there is an innate way to make platformers, which Sonic is. Even though I've been saying that they're not focused on platforming, this is still a platforming game. The game that we're looking at is still a platforming game. Let me get that off the screen in case anyone gets uppity about spoilers. But it is a platforming game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, it just is. But there are ways to make these games. Like, we know games have been being made for decades now. 40 years, I believe, or at least 40 years since the 80s. There was a crash in the 80s, you see. I do believe that there are many ways to make platformers that are very satisfying, and that have been known to work. And I don't see Sonic Frontiers or any of the Sonic games from the last decade using or utilizing any of those methods. So let me get back to my list. Sonic is a platformer. It should be a platformer first. Yes, you could have sections where it's all about speed and maintaining that speed. Like, the mock sections from Sonic 06, I know we're not supposed to like Sonic 06, but I do, shut up. No, I don't want to be mean to you guys. But, the mock sections in Sonic 06, when they work, they're fantastic. They're so much fun. You know what they're not? They're not 3-lane Temple Run clones. You know how frustrating it is to be playing a game and then suddenly you're in Temple Run? I haven't played Electric Gesture, but it's definitely a 3D Sonic-inspired game series. A Sonic 06 lover unsubbed. Do it. Do it now. You won't. You won't do it. I'm just kidding. Sonic 06 is not a good game, but I do enjoy it. But anyways, I have heard of Electric Gesture. I've wanted to play those games. Maybe I'll stream it one day. I would love to play a good Sonic-inspired game. That would be nice. That would be swell. Sonic's not going to do it. Someone else should. But, where was I? Whoa, that was loud. There should be a sense of, challenge in platforming. So many people I see say that, oh, Sonic is about speed. Sonic is about going fast and maintaining your speed. Which I agree is an aspect of it, but none of those people have played Marble Zone. You can tell. It shows. None of those people have touched Marble Zone, at least in a while. It shows. For real though, I'm legit excited for Sonic Project 06. I can't wait for that. Yes, I'm so excited. And yes, oof. Those people don't know what Marble Zone is. Marble Zone was the gatekeeper. Marble Zone gatekept people from Sonic in 1991. Thank God for Marble Zone for that. Imagine how many, baby gamers we would have in Sonic if freaking Marble Zone didn't exist. Marble Zone was really tough. Yes, it is very tough. Very, very tough. I've heard people say, oh, well, Sonic Adventure or Sonic the Hedgehog 1 is not, like, amazing. It's definitely the first in the series, and I can see what they're saying with that. But what I'm trying to say, and I'm kind of rambling, Sonic as a franchise needs to be about platforming and utilizing Sonic's speed to make that platforming more interesting. The 3D Sonic games, Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, utilized this design philosophy excellently well. Like, excellent. What am I trying to say? What is words? They utilized these concepts amazingly. That whole meme about Sonic had a rough transition into 3D, that's a psyop. That's a psyop from the federal government trying to trick you into thinking that Sonic had a terrible transition into 3D. That's a lie. That's not real. That's a conspiracy. From, like, Jeff Bezos or something. I don't know. But Sonic, like, the older games knew that they were evolving from a platformer, and now they were in a 3D space. They had to make it. They had to think about platforming from a 3D view, from a 3D perspective, and they did that. It was amazing. Such examples are, man, City Escape is a great first level. A lot of people criticize City Escape for being, oh, you just go to the finish line. It's not. It's very linear, and there's not much going on in terms of like different routes and stuff. It's the first level. Calm down. And there are different routes. They're just very short because you go fast. It's the same way for Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone has multiple paths that are very short. Same thing for City Escape. You can take different paths, like running up the wall, going down the rails is an alternate path. It just is. I've seen a lot of people just run down the stairs, jumping, homing attacking a beetle over a bottomless pit to get to someplace faster. That's an alternate path. Taking, grabbing the zip line, doing flips, and then jumping off to get to a higher space where you can get invincibility. That's an alternate path. Like, there are a bunch of stuff, not to mention the hidden power-up that's in that level. Like, it's not a great power-up, to be honest. I think it's like magic hands, but it's a power-up nonetheless. You also have the Chao keys. You have the different, like, when you're going up the stairs where there's 2 gun robots on either side and a gun beetle at the top. Those alternate paths to the side, those are alternate paths with goodies. There's a Chao key. Like, this level has alternate paths and items if you're looking for it. People, again, Sonic had a rough transition into 3D is a psyop. It's not real. Open your third eye. But what I really should be talking about is all those people saying that it's too linear, it's too easy. My brother in Christ, it's the first level in a 3D Sonic game from 2000. 3D was still a very new concept. The fact that it's as good as it is astonishing to me. The fact that it's that good, that's like they made a deal with Satan himself. Lucifer dropped some bars in the development studio in San Francisco. It's in California. That's where Lucifer lives. That's the fact that it's that good is honestly amazing. This game came out in 2000. People forget that this game came out in 2000, which means it was developed in 1999. Bro, I know some people that were in development in 1999, if you know what I mean. You need to go. Oh, you need to move. That's okay. I think there are certain ways you can stop Satan from coming into your house. I think you're good. There's a giant crack in California. I don't think he can get past that. As long as you're like across that, you're good. But so in terms of platforming, City Escape is a great example of not only a first level, but also platforming in general. The ramps are immediately apparent as soon as you start sliding down the road. Like, they're bright orange and white, which, now that I think about it, not only does it get the attention of the player, it also fits in with the aesthetic of a realistic world, or at least realistic in terms of 2000, because it looks kind of like construction equipment. So there's in no nation that I ever want to go to is there ever construction equipment that looks like a ramp like that from Sonic Adventure 2, but construction equipment is normally orange and white, and it fits with that aesthetic. It looks really well. It looks really good. It immediately gets your attention. You automatically know what it is. It is staggeringly simple. You're on a board, going fast. You see a ramp. It is bright orange and white. Your monkey brain activates. You are barreling. You are like a torpedo heading straight to that ramp. And then, to get some extra air, you jump. And then you find out that you can do tricks. And if you're really perceptive, you know that it gets you points. Like, this game is firing on all cylinders. Neuron activation. Exactly. Past that, we get into the part where there's a rail to go up. There's Omo Chao if you need any pointers. There's the first gun robot that I'm not even sure if it shoots at all. I don't know. I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does. you learn how to fight those things right there. There's a wall that you can scale if you run fast enough, if you have enough momentum. There is another gun robot. It's just delayed. It is, yeah, you're right. There are boxes that you can destroy with the somersault. Another grindable rail. If you go fast enough, you can run up a sheer wall. Another example of good platforming. The camera turns to the left. The camera shows you 3 different routes. You can hit the beetle and jump across the bottomless pit, or there's some platforms you can try to platform on. You can jump on and get past it that way, or there is a staircase to your left with a grindable rail, I think. So you can go that way if you're feeling a little bit spicy, just not spicy enough to jump over it or go on the platforms. So that's technically 4 routes, and then you have to go across I believe underneath a grate with the somersault. The game is teaching you so much stuff, and it's having so many examples of platforming that get harder as the game goes on. It surprised me that Sonic hasn't tried more parkour stuff. My brother! Oh my god, it hurts me. It physically assaults my nerves that Sonic hasn't done more with parkour. Where's my Titanfall game? Where's my Sonic Titanfall? Sonic X Titanfall. Spy X Family, Sonic X Titanfall. Where is my Sonic X Titanfall crossover? Respawn, EA, Sonic Team, Sega. I need it. Please. You're Sonic with a gun. Where is it? Please. But for anyone who gives Sonic a gun and a mech, absolutely. Bro, anyone who has not played Titanfall 2, buy it right now. I don't care if your bank account goes into the negative and you have to get overdraft protection. I don't care. Buy it right now. Go into debt and play the Titanfall 2 campaign. You are in that game. You're basically Sonic with a gun. It is awesome. Anyway, back to Sonic. That's a game I will gladly simp for. But as Sonic Adventure 2 and Adventure 1, as they go on, the levels get tougher. A good example of a good platforming section or level in Sonic Adventure 1 is what's it called? Heat something? I think it's the final level in Sonic's campaign, where a lot of platforming, there is some parts where you have to wait for platforms to get to the right place and that you have to wait a little bit. I don't care about waiting for platforms as long as it's not too long, and whatever counts as too long is different from person to person, but there comes a point where I think we all know it's too long. But my point is, oh dude, the what's it called, pyramid something from Sonic Adventure 2 where you get the bounce bracelet. This is a hot take, but that's my favorite Sonic level. I love that level. People hate it because of the keys, but that's just a skill issue. You need to get better at the game. Oh no, the game slowed me down. I am now very fragile. I'm no longer nimble. Oh no, I have to actually move around to dodge bullets and ghosts. Oh no, it's spooky. You need to get better at the game. You just as long as you can stop for the platform. Final Egg is Sonic's last level in SA1. That might be what I'm thinking. Well, isn't Final Egg the name of the boss? Is that not the name of the boss? Or no, that's Egg Dragoon, I believe. Is it? I'm having trouble remembering, but y'all see my point. Like, Sonic's stages were focused on Egg Hornet. That's what it was. Man, Egg Hornet gave me trouble as a kid. If it was a moving platform, I mean, yeah. Just as long as you stop for the moving platform, like, because the platforms from Sonic Adventure 2, they reuse them a lot because they work really well. They go up and down to like hexagons or octagons right next to each other. They're like columns that go up and down, and you have to scale them. Those are a very good version of platforms, I believe, because they're not too long at all. Very, very short and very easy to understand. But yeah, we've been on platforming for a little bit. What makes platforming satisfying? Well, it's easy to know like what something is missing once you see like a version of it without it. Let's look at another Sonic level. Again, if you're not a fan of seeing some of these levels, look away for about 2 minutes. Well, actually, I'm gonna be pausing, so you're kind of just messed up. So, too bad. Anyways, so here's another level. I believe it's supposed to be modeled after Sky Sanctuary. Cut off. So straight line, not a bad idea. So, not a bad idea to start off on a straight line. That's fine. It's the beginning of the level. Immediately we see these rings. This is good. I like this. If you have enough reflexes, you can get on the rings and go. You can go fast over there. But if you don't, there's basically nothing here at all. And I guess this is a good point to bring up Boost formula and Boost era. Boost has been Boost, and its Boost has had significantly negative consequences for the Sonic franchise, I am afraid to say. Because of Boost, we have levels like this, where the developers can't design platforming sections, and they want the players to feel, oh my gosh, I'm going so fast. So they build these really short hallway sections. This is like Sonic Forces. A lot of people were like, man, I can't believe Sonic Forces was so bad. That came out of nowhere. It was so bad. Sonic Forces is the logical endpoint of the Boost formula as we have known it for the past decade. The fact that people were surprised Sonic Forces was bad kind of astonishes me. But enough about that. Very short level, or short place. Whoa! Holy cow, that guy... I did not know that. It's been a while since I saw this. I didn't know he was going to homing attack into that, but he did that. Okay, sure, fine, cool. That was really fast. Holy cow. Goes up. It immediately slows you down. Why did it slow him down that much? Why did it slow him down? Sonic Forces being bad annoys the fudge out of me because it had so much potential. It really did, and Sega and Sonic Team knew how much potential it is. That's why it was advertised the way it was. The advertising for that game, man, you could build a legal case against it. Like, if I can't. We don't have enough time. I don't have time. So it slows him down for some godforsaken reason. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this pitiful part where he starts running and he just goes super slow. Look at this. Look at this wind up. Look how slow that is. Sonic, look at this. See this area? You know what that is? You know what that is? That's 3 lanes. That's 3 lanes. That's Temple Run. You're looking at Temple Run. God, it annoys me so much. Sonic Dash. Man, why do they keep coming up with these new Sonic games? They just need to keep making more content for Sonic Dash. Give us another flavor of straight line with 3 lanes. But like, man, so because of Boost, this is the logical endpoint of Boost formula. You have to do this. It is necessary to do this. You have sections that you what the heck is this person doing? But yeah, you have some journalistic skills on display here. Whoa, wow, okay. He missed it. What the heck? Is that because he boosted? I think he boosted instead of homing attack. Maybe that's why he missed it. If that's the case, that's just unfortunate. But so we get to see this place down here. Look at how slow he is. You have to slow down Sonic for his boost to mean anything, instead of just letting him go fast. Instead of just letting players have control and more freedom over Sonic's movement, we have to slow him down to make the boost button even necessary in the first place. This is so artificial. It's breaking my mind, breaking my brain. Look at it. Like, So much automation on display here. You have the light dash, which is cool, and it goes into a bounce pad, which goes into a rail, which goes into another bounce pad, which you're in a lane, which goes into another rail, which is going to a straight line, which you go another more rings. More, look at this. Go into you see this? See this ledge? This is like a, what's the word I'm looking for? When you get a diagnosis at the doctor, this is a symptom. I diagnose you with boost era. This is a symptom of the boost era. You have so many of these. Like, okay, not this step. You can have this step in other Sonic games. It is necessary because Sonic is very fast. So you have to have these to, you know, stop the player. Say, hey, we're gonna stop you for a sec because you're about to encounter some stuff. That's okay. To be fair, with the speed, they might be playing on the easy difficulty where speed is nerfed. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. This game has difficulty levels for the cyberspace levels, which is insane to me. But anyway, but like this is a symptom. If you have a couple of these, you're okay. You have to find a middle ground. If you're in the just right, the Goldilocks section with the amount of these steps, you're all good. You're golden. You're all good. If you have none of these, you're kind of in trouble because players are going to be running into enemies, walls, whatever, and you're in trouble there. If you have too many of them, though, ask yourself, why do you have so many? Is it because your character goes too fast? Is it because the game is set to activate the monkey part of your brain and you always want to press that boost button? You want to hold that thing there. You want the button to get stuck because you're pressing the boost button so much. These things are a symptom of boost formula. You have so many of them. And so we have this step here. It stops the player because something's about to happen. What's going to happen? Let's see here. There's an enemy. There's an enemy. Oh, just one. Just one. One enemy. Here he goes. If there was no step, you can see the enemy coming. Like, look, I'm looking at a screen of a recording of I'm looking at a recording of a screen of someone playing. Like, this is not an optimal way to watch gameplay, but even I can see the enemy. Even I can see him. Any competent player could easily look. There's even a way to avoid it, I believe, if you hit this little grappling hook, which is okay, but we'll get to this in a bit. You could just let the player jump and hit the enemy, or remove the enemy entirely because there's a spring behind him. Like, look at this. There's a spring right there, which goes to another enemy. But first of all, I want to talk about this hook here. This hook right here. You see? Let's see how fast this is. I wish I could go really slow. Let's see how slow I can go. So here, I'm trying to go super slow. So he starts going down the hill. I can't see the clock. So 35, 34 is when we see the reticle start to appear for the hook. This thing is in the way. Shoot. So stop. 35, 34. It is already out of the screen a second later. I ask you, humble audience, how are you supposed to see or react to that? Change playback speed? Oh yeah, you're right. There's no way to change playback speed. At least, hold on, let me see. I don't want y'all to see my whole timeline. Is there a way to change that from outside it? There is not. Very cool. Oh yeah, it's not YouTube. But how are you supposed to react to that? This is another gripe I have about boost formula. In Sonic Adventure 2, when you're going down the streets of Francisco, down really fast, mind you, on a piece of metal acting as a snowboard, you have enough time to go on the ramps and jump on them. Later on, when you're running instead of skating, you still have a lot of time. This is one thing I absolutely hate about the boost games, is that, let's say you're playing a level for the first time. Let's say you're playing Sonic, like City Escape for the first time. A normal, like a competent player, or even a incompetent player who's just curious about the ramps, they would be able to see them and go on. There's extensions to change playback speed on other players, but yeah, I think if you're on mobile, you can change the speed. But in Boost era, no thanks. You're gonna memorize all the level layouts and inputs required to go as fast as possible, like it's a fighting game, and you're gonna like it. So yeah, you can't react to it. Like this person's nervous system can't catch up. They're switching lanes instead of jumping because their nervous system is having a breakdown and they go smack dab into the wall. I saw a little number appear there once he hit the enemy, so there's a point system there. I think the point system, or the ranking system, is going to be more challenging this time, so that's good. You have another enemy there, hit him, hit that one, hit the thing there, more rings, cool. He boosted instead of jumping, that's okay. More than, that's okay, that's alright. It's still incredibly straight. What the heck? He almost missed that. Look at this! Look how slow that, look at it. That's unfortunate. That, again, you go so fast sometimes that you don't have time to like properly understand the layout of the level. So now he's going, he tried to jump. He tried to jump to get to this, see that ring? He tried. God bless him, he tried. Neuron overload, exactly. You could see him try to jump, but as soon as he's jumping, he's already down the slope. It's too late. He failed. And so he gets on the spring, but man, if only we had a game that didn't have a boost function and the game gave you more control over your speed of how fast Sonic is going. If only we had a game like that. Wow. So you go up here, immediately press the boost button because that's what you're supposed to do. Go into the spring, another 3-lane thing with, oh, dodge the spikes, some spectacle here, like, oh, he goes into a spiral. They had to start making the checkpoint things, instead of these two, I don't know what you would call, the little poles that they used to have, and it would go doo-doo. They have to make these light gates because every freaking stage temple run is Sonic Dash. So they have to assume that the player is going to be either here or here or here, so they have to make it big enough for the whole. Sometimes these things stretch for miles. It feels like these things are they're doing some work. These things are single-handedly making this game playable for little kids who die because they're going faster than the speed of light. They hit, I don't know, a spike or something. They impale themselves. I don't know. So there's just so much hate about this. I just hate that this is what Sonic is now. See, other Sonic games, older Sonic games, the way they handled checkpoint systems is they had the two poles at a place where either it would bottleneck you into going to that place, or you would get forced into going that place by hitting a speed pad. You know, something like that. Or it would be at the end of a platforming section. It would, like, there would be a box you have to jump on top of, and then you jump from that box to the main, you know, fast lane again. And at the beginning of that fast lane is the pole, the checkpoint. So you get the satisfaction of surviving the last section you were in and hitting the checkpoint, and now you readily have a checkpoint that can let you immediately go on this new fast section whenever you die, or, you know, There's no restart from checkpoint game thing in Sonic, so whatever. Similar to Mario, where in the newer games where there's checkpoints, there is a flag that you can find. In the 2D ones, like the new Super Mario Brothers, the flag is, you know, always visible, I think. And you have to jump up to get there, and it's usually like in the middle or something. Sonic really I think puts more thought into them. One, because they have more than one checkpoint, because the levels are longer. And like Sonic levels are longer, but there's not as many of them as Mario, and Mario levels are shorter, but there's more of them, more Mario levels. Although I guess it depends nowadays, because some Mario levels can be quite long, especially if they're grueling platforming sections. Reward versus apology. Yeah, this feels like an accommodation rather than I don't know, man. It's not great. So he goes picking up rings. More again. I ask you, what platforming have we seen in this section? I don't count 3-lane roads and automated sections as platforming. That's not platforming. We have seen zero platforming, and we're 20 seconds away from the video ending. The video shows the entirety of the level. We have a straight, narrow thing down there with nothing in sight. We have rings leading him here with nothing in sight except rings. There's a rail. Wow. Okay. And he dies, which means there's less of this level than I initially thought. Rail. It takes you there anyway. What was the point? To get there faster, I guess? And this is the end. We've reached the end of the level. There was nothing there. Nothing. What is the... So, I will say, at this point, what we've been looking at, those are cyberspace levels. They are not the main portion of the game. They are optional, although I don't know to what extent they are optional. Sonic Team has said that they're optional, although I'm not sure I believe them, because they've introduced the concept of a skill tree in this game. Skill tree obviously requires XP to progress in the skill tree. You get XP by, I assume, getting better ranks in the cyberspace levels, beating enemies in the open world, and also in the cyberspace levels. Like, just stuff like that. And they've said that it's optional. But to what extent? Because from what I've seen of the combat system, it does not seem that great. But maybe I'll leave that for a second. Let's see. Boost Era makes level design staggeringly simple. Very simple to the point of nausea. Ad nausea. It's just... Man, they are optional. They are one way of getting the MacGuffin needed to progress. And yeah, that's basically it. I guess it's a good time to talk about the combat. I have the combat overview trailer here. Like, it's on Twitter because that's where I'm at right now. Whatever, it's fine. The combat trailer, I don't believe it goes over too much. Show it here. So here's the example of the skill tree. There's the ring of light that Sonic can make, and that like makes a whirlwind, gets you rings in some instances. This looks like an uppercut. You have a zigzag there. These are basically different types of attacks. Here's my issue with this. Are these attacks better than the other attacks? Oh no, you can see my timeline. Oh no. Let's see here. I guess we'll just go through this combat trailer because it's been a while since I saw it as well. Let me pause the music for a moment.
Sonic Frontiers introduces a new take on the action, adventure, and...
Holy cow, that is loud for y'all guys. I don't know why it's so loud.
platforming genres by combining blistering speed with blazing
So what did you say there?
Frontiers introduces a new take on the action, adventure, and platforming genre.
So, action, adventure, platforming genres of Sonic. This is okay. This is like bare minimum for platforming. You jump up on a wall. It still feels very automated.
Genres by combining blistering speed.
We'll get to the open world in a sec. I'm aware that the open world is the main part of the game. We will get to it.
With blazing combat.
The blazing combat. That's what they want to emphasize. This game is a mix of platforming and blazing fast whatever. So look at this. See this attack? So Sonic is like, he's like going ora 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 on this guy, right? So I can't say this for sure, but I am 99% sure that what he's doing here, the player at this moment that this is happening is not pressing any buttons. He has initiated the attack, and the attack will therefore continue until it is over. The player does not need to press any buttons until the attack is over. Then they can choose which other long attack animation they want to do. That's my hypothesis. That's what I'm thinking. Give me 1 sec. I have to take a call. All right, I'm back. Thank you all for waiting. But yeah, I assume that this is just attack animation that once you initiate it, plays an animation, whatever. What do I think? Cooldown or SP for attack abilities? SP, I'm not sure what that is. I assume that's like a meter that you can refill if you get rings or do other stuff. I'm not sure. I assume it's going to be tied to rings. I don't think Sonic team is confident in their abilities to create a combat system where a cooldown would be justified. I don't think they're that confident yet. I think that they're okay with letting it be tied to rings, or maybe it'll recharge while you're getting rings. I don't know. Anyway.
For the first time,
The
Sonic
skill tree
has a
and
skill
upgrades.
tree full of exciting and powerful new abilities to learn.
I did not turn it up. That was, I guess, the...
To unlock new skills, you'll
But look at this. He just keeps on attacking.
need to collect.
I'm just going to come out and say it. I think that as the game goes on, your enemies are going to get tougher and tougher in a very artificial way. I hypothesize that instead of the enemies are going to vary, obviously, as the game goes on. I would hope so. But the main way, and the way they're going to get tougher. Hey, Texan, good to see you. The main way they're going to get tougher is Trash Frontiers. Oh, man. But the main way the enemies are going to get tougher, I assume, is they're going to get more health bars. That's what I think is going to happen. Colored enemies. Oh, man, they're just a different color. This one has a red stripe on him. Ooh. But that's what I think the game is going to try to make the enemies more difficult. They're just going to have more health. Because I've seen Sonic fighting the enemies. It does not look engaging in the slightest. No way. Not at all. So I think that so you unlock stuff in the skill tree by picking up these blue tokens, and I assume by doing the cyberspace levels and other stuff, I guess. Did I see the animation? I did. That's how we started the stream. Really good. I will talk about it, I guess, again. I did talk about it a little bit, but I'll talk about it again, maybe. So you get tokens, you complete levels or other tasks to get more skills in the skill tree. The skills that we've been seeing are rapid fire attacks that start up in animation while I assume the player just sits back and watches the keys jingle. This sounds terrible. This sounds awful. Could you imagine if Sonic Heroes... I don't like Sonic Heroes, but at least Sonic Heroes had strats and like different playstyles that you can incorporate in creative ways or find the optimal way to get as fast as you could. This just looks like, oh, what if we made every attack the team special attack, but you have a bunch of them and you just figure out which one you want to use, and if you play the optional cyberspace levels, then you get more skills in the skill tree, and if you pick up more tokens, you get more skills in the skill tree. Did you see the Tails be like the crossing? So wait. I don't know what that means. But because that's another thing. Like, the combat looks awful. It does not look interesting. It does not look fun. But why do we have combat in the first place? Look at this wide open field. You see how huge this area is? The Shire wasn't this big. Why can't Sonic just run around these guys? Well, there could be two reasons. There is a story or objective that he is a part of, and he needs to beat these guys. Oh, you gotta level up. That's my other reason. That's why you would fight these guys, to level up, to grind. Sonic Frontiers is going to have grinding. You heard it here first, folks. Sonic Frontiers is going to have grinding, because if you don't fight these guys, you're going to get to, like, Bowser's Castle, and you're going to have, a giant egg robots with... Or no, not Eggman, but whatever these robots are. You're going to have giant robots that have 10 health bars. Oh, but you're still using the base homing attack because you didn't level up your skill tree, because you didn't play the optional... You didn't play the optional cyberspace levels and fight these guys. You just ran around them like a normal person. So you're going to be stuck grinding so you can go back to Bowser's Castle and fight it. That's what I think this game is going to be. That gives me Rush Adventure vibes, and that's not a good thing. I have not played Rush Adventure, but I have heard some people didn't like aspects of that game, including grinding. This does not look good.
Enough skill pieces from fallen enemies and breakable items.
Oh yeah, breakable items. You need to go looking for more tokens to pick up.
Around the islands. Sonic also
That looked cool. This is a very small tangent. That looked cool. The canister breaking apart. I want more physics-based platforming from Sonic, please. God. Look at Sonic. Look at Sonic. He's soaring. Oh, man. Skill pieces from fallen enemies. Yeah. Bro, give Sonic the dive move from Metal Gear Solid 5. Give him the dive move. Do it, Sega. Do it, Sonic Team. I love this enemy's design. It's like a biblically accurate angel. I really dig it. But I do not have high hopes for this combat.
has a standard moveset, including a homing attack, drop dash, and stomp at the beginning of the game. While these moves are effective against normal enemies, you'll need to level up and unlock new skills if you want to take on bigger and stronger foes awaiting you on the Starfall Islands.
I think, okay, this is like my cynical brain working. I think that he just came out and said it. I think he just came out and said, yeah, if you want to beat the bigger, stronger enemies, which I interpret as, oh, they have more health, they are stronger. If you want to beat them, you got to unlock the skills to get the better, like, longer attack moves so that you can beat them faster. They're not doing a good job of advertising this game. This is like the one Sonic game I feel like I see all the problems wrong with it immediately. But I feel like I'm insane. I feel like everyone I see talking about this game, they're all like really hopeful about it. And I don't know why. It's like they all forgot about Sonic Forces and Sonic Lost World and Sonic freaking what other games came out. I'm having trouble. There was Sonic Generations, which, hot take, I don't like Sonic Generations. It's not great. Oh, remember at the end of Prime, they showed a quick Frontier promo? Yeah, that was pitiful. What was after Generations? They had Sonic Unleashed was before Generations. What was after that? I'm actually, you know, having sort of a, don't want to do that. It doesn't matter. Lost World. Oh yeah, this picture. If this boss wasn't here, what would be here?
A normal enemy
Look at how empty everything. There's something over there and some stuff over there, but otherwise,
on Kronos Island is nothing compared to those on
like, look how slow he turns.
is nothing compared to those on later islands.
Look at that.
So make sure you're collecting.
Because of boost, like, this even affects the open world. Sonic's turning feels so awful. Sonic is stuck in the Unreal Engine. Sega needs to hire this guy world. Yeah. But at least that guy, he had freaking deer running next to Sonic, and that was like a prototype he whipped up in probably a day. Sonic Team has a whole world here. Where are the towns? Where are the NPCs? I don't know if that would gel with the story of the game, but you have a giant open world. You have to have him doing something. The sad part is his turning looks better than Sonic Forces. Oh my god, bro. Have y'all played Sonic Generations recently? It hurts. It physically hurts to try and turn. It physically hurts to run from standing still to running. It hurts how slow Sonic is because they want you to use the boost button. The boost is just ruining these games.
Collecting the red seeds of power and blue seeds of defense to boost your stats and give yourself a.
So you have red seeds of power and blue seeds of defense. So that tells me that Sonic has health in this game? Or perhaps when you have no blue seeds of power, you lose all rings, but when you get more defense, you lose less rings, maybe? See what a boost does to a mother beaver. Yes, exactly. This is what Boost Era does. Not even once.
Fighting chance.
But man, like, what could health bring to a Sonic game? I don't know. I've very rarely have I stopped to think about it. would health be a benefit to a Sonic game? It certainly is a benefit to Mario. You have Mario who gets bigger and also gets a special power. He has health. Werehog ring health. I have not played Sonic Unleashed since it came out. It's been a long time. I hope one day they port it to PC and I can play it. I hear a lot of people love that game. I would love to play it. But yeah. Combos and abilities.
As the game progresses and Sonic levels up, so do your enemies.
The colored enemy! It's the colored enemy! Let's go! It's him! It's him, you guys! I clapped when I saw it! What is this? I mean, Sonic Boom had a health system, and that's totally a good thing. I could totally see Sonic having a health system similar to, like, Mario Galaxy. That could work. I would actually be excited to see that. But that's the thing, though. The ring system kind of works because of how fast you're going. It's kind of a nice accommodation that whenever you get hit, as long as you have rings, you're good. You have to keep track of your health, and that would probably slow the game down, and it would force players to play very conservatively and be completely at odds with the mechanics and the design philosophy. So that could be a point against having a life system, but I don't know. I guess they would need to experiment with it. They could have sort of a Call of Duty FPS style where if you get hurt too many times you die, but you can regenerate your health if you stop getting hurt. I don't want to trash on Unleash more, but I also hate Chip. It does not make sense to me that they had Chip, a character who is meant to be a very emotionally I mean, okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I have not played Unleashed. I've watched a movie of it on YouTube. However, I know that the YouTube movie does not cover the game. It does not cover gameplay. It does not cover any cutscenes outside of major story moments, because that game is very long, I've heard, and a lot of stuff happens in between, a lot of character developing moments. So I will reserve my opinion on Chip until I actually play the game. Wouldn't that slow the game down if you regen when not getting hurt? It potentially, if the player is a wimp and they're bad at the game and they're not if they, you know what they could do? They could do it like Doom, where you have to defeat enemies to get more health. They could do that. I'm gonna be there on that stream to despise it loudly. I'll see you there, bro. The colored enemy.
Completing combos is a...
So, you have to... Your enemies... You have to level up. Wait, no. He said that as you level up, so do your enemies. So, if you don't level up, do the enemies just stay wimpy and bad? Oh, no. That's not good.
Completing combos is a good way to get the upper hand during battle.
See, this looks interesting. This part right here. Because it looks like the player is actually determining where Sonic is coming from or where he's going. I have no idea how that works, but that seems like it could be interesting. But it would only work against this shield boss. I assume it's a boss of some kind, I'm not sure.
A good way to get the upper hand during battle, especially when paired with a new skill called Phantom Rush. Sonic's combo meter will fill up after attacking enemies.
A combo meter. That's how you get more that's how you get more of the special moves. You just hit them a bunch. This game is going to be a monkey game, dude. You're just going to be just button mashing, hitting the enemy over and over and over again, just so you could fill up that meter and hit them with that special Sonic Heroes team special move.
Consecutively. Once the combo meter is maxed, it's a good way to get the upper hand during battle, especially when paired with a new skill called Phantom Rush. Sonic's combo meter will fill up after attacking enemies.
Yeah, a takedown more like Spider-Man. But the thing is, Spider-Man has like combos and actually difficult enemies. Like when you ramp up the difficulty in Spider-Man, it is a genuine challenge and it's really fun. This is not that. Also, I think it's weird how Sega is mostly focusing on easy mode. They talked about going easy on the kids. Bro, I don't care about the kids. Kill the kids so I don't have to, we don't have to cater to them anymore, bro. I don't care. Like, in Minecraft, if Sonic Adventure 2 abused me as a kid and I liked it, I loved it. No air necklace on the final levels for me. Nuh-uh. We had to rely on air bubbles. And stream gets taken down. Let's go. They're being catering to new players more. Oh my god, dude. Why would you cater to new? Isn't that what got us into this problem into the first place? They kept on trying to cater to new Sonic fans. They've been catering to new Sonic fans for 10 years since Sonic Colors. I'm so tired of it. Oh my god. And again, catering to new fans or new players isn't a bad thing inherently. Like I said earlier, there are proven methods on how to make good platforming games, but they don't care. That they're not making a platforming game. They're making spectacle. They're making, go fast, TM. Go fast, the game. They're not making a platforming game. Sonic is not about platforming. We are hungry. We're starving. You missed the what is it? Reimagine for a modern audience. Reimagine if there's such thing as, like, I don't know, a necromancer that takes over the world and he raises us all up from the dead to take over the world and establish his new dystopian society, and there's like a desperate family that I'm crawling towards because I'm gonna eat them because I'm a zombie at this point, and they're like, why are you doing this? I'm just gonna tell them, I'm reimagined for a modern audience. I'm not good. I'm upset. Oh my god. This game looks awful. I feel like I'm going insane. How does anyone think this game is going to be good?
Enemies consecutively. Once the combo meter is maxed out, Phantom Rush is active.
Look, there's the combo there. There's a meter. Oh, so it's kind of like Devil Trigger. Okay. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Gruff. I don't think you're living. I'm not. I'm suffering. I'm surviving. There's a difference between living and surviving. Sounding like me when I finish Sonic Forces on stream. Sonic fans. Where's that meme with the Predator meme when they shake hands? Modern era Sonic fans versus classic era Sonic fans. Suffering.
Activated. And your attack power will be boosted until
your
the
attack
meter
power
reaches 0.
will be boosted.
To deal massive amounts of damage in a short burst, use Sonic Boom, a long-range, high-speed kick that unleashes shockwaves at the enemy.
Like, look at this. It's there's no buttons being pressed at all. There might be a button pressed to initiate it. Like, look at this. Before he does it, you could see a couple of like hits, so maybe there's like a combo there, but after you press the combo, you just watch.
That unleashes shockwaves at the enemy.
Also, the world layout. I see this, like, there's some structures there, but I doubt there's people or NPCs or anything interesting. Maybe there's a puzzle or a collectible, but is that fun? Is that nice? Is that what you call game design? Oh, I put the thing there. The player found the thing. They picked up the thing and added to their inventory. I am a video game developer. Is that like the bar that we have now? As long as there is an objective, you have made a game. Like, is that where we're at right now? Everyone got raptured for real. But the thing is, I assume from everything that we've seen that there's a story reason why there's nobody here. These islands seem to be very isolated, very secluded. So I'm okay with there not being anybody, but there's got to be stuff to do. Like, come on. I'll talk about that later.
Another option to dish out major hurt on your enemies is Wild Rush.
He's just going through the different moves. I missed the rapture. I got some bad news, buddy. You've been left behind. But he's just going through different moves. This isn't a combat overview as it is just a like what's the word I'm looking for? You just go through the list, like not like a different scenarios. Because I feel like a combat overview should be like it should show you the breadth of the combat. It should show you like, oh, there are many ways to do things. This is just here's your move list. Bye. Yeah, they right. Yeah, they right when they said this isn't like Breath of the Wild. You got that right. Ah, yeah, for real, for real.
A flashy, zigzagging attack.
A flashy, zigzagging attack that sends you crashing into your targets with great force.
It's a fast and stylish way to hit your enemies hard while avoiding
fast and stylish. That's all that they just keep using different words. Like it looks cool.
incoming fire.
The Psy loop. That's it.
Certain
yeah,
enemies
it's just
in Sonic
stylish.
Frontiers have a shield or barrier protecting them.
This is this right here. This right here. This looks like the most monotonous, tedious combat I have ever laid my eyes upon. I have never seen something more tedious than this. Oh, your enemy? What does your enemy do? So here's the thing. In a fight, we have to go with this game. We have to go back to the basics. What is just like? Let's say you're in a fight. Actually, we're gonna talk about both you and enemy. You and enemy. You're in a fight. Okay. What is both of your goals? Both of your goals are to defeat the other person. So, if you or the enemy decide, oh, I'm in trouble, I'm going to hide in a cup. That's not a good strategy. If you hide in a cup, you're going to die. The person is going to lift up the cup and kill you. The only way you can escape from a fight is by retreating or besting your opponent. This is not doing either of those. Hate this.
Break their shield with Psy-Loop.
You break the shield and deal damage
before it goes back up.
And they don't do this when they're hurt. This is like their main defense. This is like their main behavior. Oh, it's just a Silent Hill enemy. Don't worry about it. Seeing both of y'all going ham is making me laugh so much right now. We are in pain. We are suffering.
If your opponent happens to land a hit on you, just use the Psy-Loop ability on the ground to collect more rings and...
I don't like this. Look at this. So is there like watered down tornado spin attack from heroes for real, for real? So I'm trying to look. Is there a visual cue that this guy's about to attack? Let's see.
back up. If your opponent happens...
So I'm looking very carefully. So he attacks this guy. We don't even see the point where he starts attacking. Water down there's a homie is a beeping liver. That's Devil Man's liver. Yo, is Devil Man okay? Like, because the way it looks here is the guy. It looks like he parried Sonic. So is there a parry system for the enemies? I don't know. The guy doesn't show it. So Sega or the advertising department inadvertently makes this combat system look jank because we don't see if this attack has a visual or audio cue. Sonic just homing attacks him and gets hurt. Sorry for trying. At least in Sonic Adventure 2 or any game where they gotta punish you attacking the shield somehow. Well, that's the thing. He didn't attack the shield. He attacked the guy. The shield is to the left. There's a guy underneath that cup right now, and he is attacking a character to the right. Because if you attack the cup, nothing happens. What's it called? I've seen players attack the cup or an equivalent, because there are some enemies that have shells or a different variation on the cup. We'll just call it the cup for clarity. I've seen players attack the cup, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. It's embarrassing. But yeah, he just gets... Look at the layout. There's nothing. I don't know what those are. Those look like the wave breakers from the Normandy, D-Day. Yeah.
To land a hit on you.
So he gets hit and loses some rings. We can't tell if he loses all of them. Also, I notice how instead of the rings going around in a circle, they go this way. I wonder if that's to facilitate so that your rings don't get caught in between a bunch of enemies. But if there were enemies over here, then that happens anyway, so I don't know. Put some plants or something. I'm okay with there being a desert. Just please, let there be something to do.
Just use the Psyloop ability on the ground to collect more rings and get back in the fight.
We're at the end of the video, so I'm going to go to the next, or the end of this, because I'm still on Twitter. They had to post it on multiple videos. Sonic does not look good in this game. They've been using this model, or variations of this model, since 2005. You heard that right. They've been using this model since 2005. I am not kidding. This is not a joke. This is not a jape. It is not a giggle. It is not a prank. They've been using this model since 2005. Yeah. What about 06? Yeah, that was a different model. When I say 2005, I mean, whoa, what the heck? What happened to the chat? That was weird. When I say 2005, the first time we ever see this model is in the player manual for Shadow the Hedgehog and in the CGI cutscenes in Shadow the Hedgehog. Ever since then, they've been using this because they use this model in I believe the CGI cutscenes in Sonic 06. It's just a different model in game. I believe so. It might change between the cutscenes actually, because what game came out in 05? Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog came out in 2005. I don't know about that, Chief. Bro, go watch Chow Mix's video about this model. It's honestly infuriating. He goes through each example of this model being used since 2005. It's honestly insane. And I see what Sega was trying to do with this model. A little tangent. They made this model the way it was to sort of future-proof Sonic's design. They use it on the cover. Yeah, it's on the cover. Right? It's on the cover. Look at Sonic and the Secret Rings. Which model is on the cover? It's this one. I swear to you, look up Sonic and the Secret Rings right now. What model do you see on the front? What model is on the cover? It's this one. It looks exactly the same. There are different ways to tell that it's the same model, because they do put some variations on it, but it is ultimately the same model. It's the same with Black Knight, yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog's art style has stagnated. It is honestly a shame. But enough of that tangent. Let's go to the next video. Here. Guardians.
During combat, you'll need to study your opponents and determine the best strategy to take them on.
So he says like different strategies like a Dark Souls, and you have to like memorize their moveset. All I saw there was, oh, there are some rings like that you can grind on. I have to jump on top of them. Like from Breath of the Wild piano.
Encounters with Guardians will require more than just using your homing attack.
Look at this. Look at this pathetic attempt. Look at this. Is this supposed to be a boss?
Many of them prompt you to engage with their unique combat mechanics
Their
weak spot. Once you have an opening, you can dish out all the skills you've unlocked from the skill tree. Experimenting with new abilities and discovering each enemy's weakness will help you defeat them with ease.
Perry, okay. I'm gonna Bro, they need to kill Sonic. Hey, what's going on? Hey, hey. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more because I'm repeating myself now, but let's keep going.
Use your enemy's moves against them by utilizing parry during combat.
This is the only interesting thing I've seen so far. The fact that you can parry to automatically get... It looks like you automatically activate your double trigger. And you get the special skills. That's interesting. That takes timing. That takes observational skills. That takes, you know, reflexes. It's nice.
A visual cue lets you know when an enemy is about to attack.
Okay.
If you react quickly enough, you can parry it and follow it up with a counterattack of your own.
What the heck happened there? There's which time is in everything these days, even in Kirby. Yeah, which time, a devil trigger, whatever you want to call it. So he says, oh, there is a visual cue for when an enemy is going to attack. So we see this guy, he's attacking. I can't even tell if the guy has attacked yet, honestly. So he attacks there, and then he gets back up to attack some more. Because I imagine he's spreading his arms open. I assume he's going to swing them down and try to hit Sonic. He hasn't even attacked yet. Unless he's countering his earlier attack. Which, cool. That makes sense. But, like, why not make it less confusing and let us see the guy stagger a bit or something? The enemies need to have a heating rage for Sonic. I want these enemies to scare me. I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't.
If you react quickly enough, you can parry it and follow it up with a counterattack of your own. Using all these skills and more gives you tons of
this guy looks like a Pokemon.
Options to become the most formidable force in the frontier. Master your approach to battle and teach your enemies not to mess with Sonic the Hedgehog.
This game looks very boring. Yeah, he said the thing. He said the thing. He said it. He said the thing. Well, I've talked a lot about the combat. Let's talk about the world. I've been kind of dancing around it. The world looks very empty. So it's kind of hilarious that we keep seeing the desert thing, because I honestly think this is going to be another Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5, for those of you who have not played it, has 2 open worlds. 3 if you count the main base that you build over the course of the game. Don't play it. Yeah, don't play it. Don't play Metal Gear Solid 5. It's a humongous time sink that you will end up feeling gypped. You will feel like your time on Earth, your time in this life was stolen. But it's kind of hilarious that we see a lot of desert areas, because Metal Gear Solid 5, most of it took place in the desert. And a problem that Metal Gear Solid 5 had was that it had an open world, but there wasn't really a reason for it to have an open world. Most of the outposts that, like, you had a desert in Afghanistan, and then you had roads to move through that desert, and then you had outposts that were set along those roads. The way you get to this open world is via helicopter, and you can choose where the helicopter lands. But why would you choose any other place except the place closest to your objective? And the places where your objectives are usually the outposts. So what ends up happening is you have this giant open world, but you only ever go to the outposts. Wreck-It Ralph had the Sonic model too. Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph used that model. I'm telling you, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere, and I hate it. God. I fear we're gonna have the same issue with Sonic Frontiers. You're gonna have a giant open world, and there's not gonna be a lot to do in it. All we've seen are the enemies, which you could run past, but you probably don't want to, because you want to get those skill tree guys. You want to do the optional cyberspace levels to get those skill tree guys. You have the bosses, which just look pitiful. They look insulting to my intelligence from how easy they look. Gruff winked. I did. All the only other things we've seen are puzzles, which I don't even feel comfortable calling them puzzles. They are so monumentally simple. It is staggering how insulting they are to me as a person, to my intellect. I don't have a very big brain. My brain is pretty average. But holy cow. Some the puzzles I've seen showcased in this game, I feel like they're talking down to me. They're not even talking, yet I feel like they're talking down to me. The open world does not look great. Does not look fun. One thing we've kind of danced around is momentum. There's no momentum in this game. You just jump on the rail and you're going. Bro, they playing psychology games on us. For real. They're gaslighting us into thinking this is some huge, mega, super game when it's just Sonic in an Unreal Engine. I have square brain, so simple puzzles are nice for me. I don't know, man. I think these puzzles, even you with your square dodecahedron brain, I think these puzzles are gonna make you say, man, this is what they think of me? This is what they think of my really? I don't know, man. Does not look good. But anyways, let me go back to here. I'm gonna go down the list, see what other stuff I have. They gave us good Sonic games and said, watch this. Guys, I want you to think about a world. The last decade of Sonic, we had Sonic Generations, which a game that I don't really like. I imagine a lot of people don't like it, but they don't talk about it, so people don't realize how many people don't like it. It caused trauma, exactly. Heavily breathing. So, Sonic Generations. Let me look this up. Sonic games. What game? Let's see. Alright, so, since 2000... So, there were so many interesting Sonic games up until 2010. They just stopped trying. You had racing games, you had party games. Sonic the Chronicles was apparently a very bad RPG, but man, at least they tried. Last Sonic game I was hyped for was Rush Adventure. God. That came out in 2007. Yeah. Do you feel old now? That game came out in 2007. I was 11. I was 11. I was barely in the double digits of my age. But then in 2010 you had Sonic at the Olympic Games. That's okay. We had the Olympic Games at that point. Sonic All-Stars Racing. Okay, pretty cool. Not what I'm interested in, because we had Sonic Riders and that was infinitely more interesting to me. Because you could do tricks and stuff. I think you could do tricks in All-Stars Racing. I might be mistaken. I can't wait for Alpha Rads. I played Sonic Chronicles, so you don't have to. Oh man, I would be interested in seeing that. Then we had Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Not a good thing. Sonic Dash. Wow, Sonic Dash came out in 2013. Wow. Sonic Lost World. We are not looking good. Wait, what the heck? Where's... Okay. It's kind of... I hate this scrolling thing that Google has. We had Sonic Freeriders, which was a Kinect game. Not great. Then we had Sonic Colors. Very basic, nothing of a game. Not great. Sonic Generations, a game that celebrated Sonic's past and his forays different places, but I didn't really care for the gameplay, so I'm gonna file that under not great. And I go back to Sonic Generations. I repeatedly go back to Sonic Generations thinking, man, everyone says this game is great. I must be missing something. And I play it and I immediately realize, no, wait, I'm not missing anything. It's the kids that are mistaken. But then we have Sonic Dash in 2013. That's a mobile game. I'll give them that. I mean, it's the obvious thing to do with Sonic in 2013 is make a Temple Run game. Sonic Lost World, Sonic Boom, good lord. Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. Okay, I'm gonna skip Sonic Mania. You'll see why in a second. Honestly, I've never beaten Gen, and I don't have a problem with that. I beat it. It's not worth it. Sonic Forces, Team Sonic Racing, and I'm not counting Sonic Origins because that's older games, and now we're coming out with Sonic Frontiers. So there's no reward. No, it's your reward is you get to hear Shadow speak, and he says one line, and it has scarred me. I will never forget it. Oh my god. So since 2010, 2010 and into the 2020, Shadow abused us. Oh my god. Sonic Free Riders, a Kinect game. Sonic Colors, nothing of a game. Sonic Generations, Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Boom. Apparently there was Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal, whatever that is. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. Sonic Forces. Team Sonic Racing. Oh, okay, so now I truthfully, I want y'all to take this seriously. Answer in chat. Oh yeah, episode 2, they did have that. Do any of those games, are in your opinion, are any of those games good? Just, are they good? Got a no, big fat no from Texan. Oh, I should turn some music on. Generations and TSR, Team Sonic Racing. I can see that. Can y'all hear the music okay? It's faint. There, what about now? Fire and Ice was a solid 6 out of 7. Yeah. So, here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is, all those games I just listed, there was one I left out, and that was Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania, that's not a Sega or Sonic Team game. That's a fan game that was given corporate funds. Without Sonic Mania, could you imagine the dire strait Sonic would be in now? Could you imagine? Guys, you gotta remember, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyrics was so devastating to Sega as a company. Not just Sonic Team, Sega. Sega, which has Yakuza and a bunch of other properties that I can't remember at this exact moment. If Sonic Mania hadn't come out, like, Sonic Boom devastated Sega as a company, where they cut major projects and devastated them financially. If Sonic Mania hadn't come out, could you imagine what how Sonic would be like today? Excuse me. This is why I'm not confident in Sonic Frontiers. The actual Sonic Team studio has not shown themselves to be competent in the slightest. Do it again. But man, so let me keep going down the list of stuff I could talk about. What's this? I'm not gonna keep talking about the cyberspace levels. They do not look good. No platforming, I'm kind of going through my tweets about just all the different topics that have come up since Frontiers was shown off and people have been talking about it. I've been talking about it on Twitter. You should follow me, guys. I like to post discussions and art on Twitter. I don't make art myself. I haven't in a while, but maybe one day I will. I share art. Also, I agree with you, Gruff, on how people are hopeful and hyped. Like, am I missing something? Yes! What game are these people hyped for? Like, we know that most of the game is going to take place in the open world. The cyberspace levels are optional. The enemies they look optional. What is in this game that is making people excited? What am I missing? The open world looks empty, barren, devoid of life. But I'm going through these different tweets that I've made in the last several months. One thing that came up is that apparently people were saying that Sonic Team is lazy. I don't think they're lazy. I just think that they're either incompetent or they have not good ideas for what direction to take Sonic as a franchise. Alpha Rad said it was good. Yeah, I want to say it was Mr. Pasquale's stream where he was talking to different people, and most of them, except for one guy, one based mega chat of a man who was expressing genuine worry for the game. Let me see. I had that guy's name up here. Maybe he'll show up again. I'll throw out a shout out if I see him again. But yeah, bro, are we red pilled? We are. We're red pilled about Sonic. Roger, I don't think he's gonna. I just don't think he has it to be Sonic. They were saying that this game is gonna have the most content of any Sonic game. I think that they might be right, but only in a technical sense. Maybe there is more stuff to do, in the same way that in a Ubisoft game, there are many things to do. There are many, like, MacGuffins to pick up, and many towers to climb. Yeah, you might have a lot of, like, numerically, you might have a bunch of stuff, but how much does it amount to, really? What do I think about the music? The music I've heard from Cyberspace levels are okay. They're not very dynamic. And so I imagine if you listen to them for more than 2 minutes, they will become grating. I will say, though, everything I've heard outside of the Cyberspace levels sounds genuinely beautiful. And I think this will be another case of, well, at least the music was good. Bro, they were saying there's no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. But yeah, I don't believe the content will be that rich as like Sonic, because I shared that I said I will compare it directly with Sonic Adventure 2, because there's no way this game is going to outclass Sonic Adventure 2 in terms of content. There's absolutely no way. Give Sonic drip again. I gotta ask, do modern Sonic fans like platforming? I don't think that they do. I don't think Sonic fans like platforming. I genuinely don't believe that. Hopefully we'll get more character. What did I say about Sonic Adventure 2? Or was it Sega said something about... Dude, Sonic SA1 has more content that I actually care about. Because that's the thing. Will I care about the more content? Who knows? Characters, who knows if the story and characters are going to be good. Again, it feels like a monkey's paw wish. Ian Flynn is writing it, but it's an open world game, so the story might be excessively simple, not very engaging. There is one character I do want to talk about. I'm looking for... I'll mention it if I find the post. He said how they said Frontier could outclass SA2. Oh yeah, there's no way. It's not going to happen. I guess I should say this now. I do not want to hate Sonic Frontiers. I want to love Sonic Frontiers. You think I love hating Sonic? Like, I hope this game will be good. I genuinely do, but I don't think it will. Like, I don't want to hate this game, but I don't think it's going to be good. At the very best, it will be mediocre with a good story. Some people love hating Sonic. Yeah, they do. Like, Aaron Hansen absolutely loves hating Sonic. He's made a career out of it. Well, his career isn't mainly about hating Sonic, but it's definitely, like, a thing he likes to do. He loves trolling Sonic fans. Every time I see fan art of Sonic, I cry inside. Oh my god. Could you imagine when Sonic falls into the public domain? Oh! Jesus, Lord, God, hear me now. God, please let me live to see Sonic become public domain. Please. Jesus, please. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Alright. Okay. Jesus is gonna be like, hey yo, remember the rapture? We'll be like 90 when that happens. Yeah. Unless something like shakes up Sega and then they sell Sonic or whatever. I don't think... Yeah, I think it will not become public domain for a long time. I don't think there's any video game ever that's become public domain. Except for maybe... I don't know. Is Tetris public domain? I don't know. Oh yeah. One thing about... I sort of brushed over this, but Boost Formula... Because of the way Boost Formula has shaped Sonic over the last decade, Sonic no longer controls very precisely, which is a death sentence for a platformer. Platformers require precision. They require precision to, you know, platform. You know, how the heck are you going to platform without precise controls? But Sonic, like, Boost Era has made level design and precise movement controls, they've made them just completely unnecessary. I was supposed to draw, but I'm chilling. Oh, I'm glad you're watching. I really appreciate you watching, guys. If you want to get good at any of these levels, oh, the movement in SA1 and 2, amazing movement. Love it. But nowadays, if you want to get good at Sonic levels, you have to memorize the layout. It's like a fighting game. You have to memorize inputs to get through the level. I am a strong... I have a strong opinion that Sonic games should never be about memorizing the level. That definitely helps. Absolutely. But a skilled player should be able to just go ham on a level. At least make a B. Like, man, I don't want levels to be designed around memorization. That's not good. That makes your first impression god-awful. Or at least very mediocre, or not memorable at all. I'll let y'all decide which one of those is worse. Oh yeah, I was talking to Oh, can I play as Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Amy, literally anyone? Yeah. No. In the Sonic game, so Sonic 1 comes out. You could just play as Sonic. Sonic 2 comes out. You play as Sonic and Tails. Sonic 3 comes out. You play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. Sonic Adventure 1 comes out. You can play as 6 different characters. Sonic Adventure 2 comes out. You can play as 6 different characters, but they all have like 3 distinct playstyles. Sonic has always been about having multiple playable characters, but people just want to pretend like that's not what this franchise was derived from. People just want to pretend that it should always be just Sonic. I'm sorry, but no, like yes, franchises can evolve. They can become about something else, but this is a clear example of a company losing sight of all the possibilities they had and the design philosophy that made them successful in the first place. I miss seeing the homies together and working. I don't think we're going to see it in this game. I really don't. Unless they just pull out a complete surprise, like they Hideo Kojima us, and it turns out that you can play as separate characters when you free them in this game. Who knows? Maybe that's what the huge open world is for. You can play as the different characters. But one thing, I'm going through my different tweets here, and I remember I was talking to my cousin, who is playing Sonic Adventure 2 for the first time in his life. The first time ever. If I meet a guy who said they handled Tails' character perfectly and forces I will short circuit, exactly. I will just kill them on the spot. Just shoot them. They don't deserve to live. In Minecraft. But, what the heck? I messed up my volume. My cousin is playing Sonic Adventure 2 for the first time in his life. And he's playing a game where you have multiple playstyles. It's all about platforming. It's all about character. It's all about competent level design. There's the Chao Garden, which necessitates replaying it. So Sonic Adventure 2 already has replay value. Like, it has a bunch of replay value, but the Chao Garden makes the replay value a game mechanic. There is a use, other than just having fun, to playing the game over and over again. Isn't Supersonic just really accessible in Frontiers? That's what I've heard. I've seen him go Supersonic, and yeah, Supersonic. I don't know, man. Maybe they'll introduce Super Duper Sonic. But I was talking about this with my cousin, especially the Chao Garden. Like, with today's technology and everything that's possible now, with like all the development tools that people have available now, Sonic Team has the formula. They have the schematic to make a successful, competent game with mechanical depth, and they just don't. They just don't do it. I don't understand. That people worked hard for those Chao Emerald or those Chaos Emeralds, and now he's just, alright, I'm gold. I'm still confused that Sega hasn't released the Chao Garden for mobile. That's exactly what we were saying. Because, okay, guys, Sonic Adventure 2 had a mobile Chao that you could take with you on the go. If you connected your Game Boy Advance to the Nintendo GameCube, you could take your Chao with you on the go, play games with them, and boost their stats, and then bring them home and put them back in the game. They had that. This was a thing that we had. And now it's gone. What is going on at Sonic Team? What is going on at Sega? Who is making these decisions? Like, you are sitting on not just gold, you're sitting on diamonds. You're sitting on, like, adamantium. You're sitting on freaking, what's it called? The stuff that Wakanda has, that Captain America's shield is made out. You're sitting on vibranium, bro. Why are you not making better games? It's so clear cut. It's so simple. The different things you have to offer. It's because, guys, I love Sonic Adventure 2. It's my favorite game, but it is not hard to make a better Sonic Adventure game. Just take what was in Sonic Adventure 2 and make it better. Like, even if it was just technically better, like, oh, the animation is better, it looks better, there's more levels, there's a level, like, creator. Like, even if you did that stuff, the game is already so much better. I don't understand Sonic Team. I don't understand Sega. I don't understand any of the decisions that they choose to make over and over again. I'm gonna keep it real with them. I don't think they're a company anymore. Bro, as someone who likes animation, I hate today's animation from Sonic. It's so dry. It's not crispy. It's not dripping. It's not good. In fact, it's very bad. It's very, very bad. It's cold McDonald's. Imagine a Sonic game where you could wall run, you could slide, you can double jump, you can activate a not the boost that we know, the boost era, you could activate a temporary boost. Like, you just go, and it already peters off. Walt Disney animated it better than the original company? Absolutely. And okay, guys, the thing I've been feeling the most with all this advertising for Sonic Frontiers, I feel like Sonic Team is really harping on this open zone game, like open zone world. Nothing that they have shown us really shows why this open zone is so amazing. They are riding on this. In fact, I would go as far as to say that they're trying to distract people from the last decade of Sonic. They're trying to distract people from how empty their game is by saying, but look, there's an open world, so it's good. I don't understand like how people are falling for this. If this game is good, I will gladly eat my words. I will gladly sit down at the table, pick up the napkin, pick up the fork and knife, and I will just wolf down my words. I will gladly just stuff my face with my own words. Gladly. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's see here. Oh, on-the-fly skill in levels is basically non-existent because you have to memorize the levels because of button inputs. People saw that first clip I showed y'all today. Just give me a good Sonic game. It's been 15 years. What came out 15 years ago? 15 years ago it was 2007. Oh yeah, Sonic and Rush Adventure, yeah. Jeez. I haven't played Rush Adventure, so for me it's been over 20 years since Sonic Adventure 2. I'm suffering, bro. My coworkers make fun of me because... Sorry, the other bounty hunters that I interact with, they make fun of me because I like Sonic. You know how that feels? You know how it feels to see a character that had lore, care, love, sweat, and tears put into him, into his games, and then after 20 years of being cringe, no one remembers what it's like that he was good anymore? It's really disheartening. Like, actually, I'm not memeing. It actually makes me sad. Of course, I brush it off and, you know, joke with them. Like, yeah, I'm the cringe Sonic fan. Man, Sonic used to be good. Multiplayer! Where is multiplayer? Oh my god, dude! Where? I don't care if there's no treasure hunting or mech battles, just racing! Why isn't there more racing? Hey y'all, this dude likes Sonic! Bro, you can like Mario and Pokemon and everybody could relate, bro. Where's the multiplayer? Oh my god. Let me look here. Apparently, so I don't know if this is true. I'm all operating under the assumption that none of this is true. It's just what I've seen and what I've heard. Someone here said that 80% of the combat is optional. Then what is the point of the open world? If there's no people, there's nothing but puzzles and platforming to get more tokens. Because that's another thing I didn't talk about. The big old like structures we see in the distance, all those are more XP tokens. That's it. What? If I'm not doing the combat, then those don't matter to me. And if I'm not doing the combat, the enemies in the adventure, like the open zones, don't matter to me. And the puzzles, which get you more experience or whatever, they don't matter to me. What is in this open world? What is there? What is there to do? What is there to see? I need you two to up and do SA2 multiplayer at some point. On God! We are doing that one day. On God. Because the great thing about Adventure 2 multiplayer is that it's split screen, so like you could see both of our perspectives. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. What else is here? Here we go. This is the thing I was mentioning earlier that I wanted to talk about, but it wasn't appearing. So, Sage, the character that we've seen in the Frontiers trailer, in the Frontiers animation, this little girl who has white hair and has like red digital glitch art on her. What do y'all think of her? The VTuber? What? The VTuber? So, I did a whole thread on this, and I feel very strongly about Sage's design in that I don't feel very strong about it at all. Let me explain what I mean by that. She's a Goomba humanoid? Exactly. So, here's the thing about Sage. She doesn't look threatening at all. Not at all. She looks threatening in that 2D animation, but in the actual game, she looks like a Mario character, bro. She looks like... Show the image? What image? Bro, DM me on Discord. Show me what image. I need to know. Show Sage? Sure. Okay, let me find a picture of Sage. So, I was gonna show this later, but I guess I'll show y'all now. Let's see here. This is Sage. So this is like the most threatening I've ever seen her look in the actual game. But who knows if these cutscenes actually like they like change the time of day. It could be that maybe this cutscene takes place in the daytime if that's the time you just happen to play this cutscene. Cinnamon roll head looking They went from Infinite trying too hard to be threatening to Sage not very threatening at all. She looks like a marshmallow. What the heck is this? I love the effect, the glitchy effect, because it looks really good. It reminds me of like Polygon Team from Smash. I've always loved the Polygon Team from Smash. They look really cool and threatening if they're actually hard. Casper, yeah, like she gives me Casper vibes. She doesn't look threatening at all. So I guess I might as well go through this this thread with you guys. This is a character from a anime called Madoka Magica. So this character's name is QB. Young Elsa, frozen looking, yeah, exactly. This is QB. QB, pretty cute, right? Pretty cute. Ignore that. QB is pretty cute. Nice little QB. Cute little animal. It's got the big old ears. It's got ears and like the things coming out of the ears. Got the nice little ooh-woo mouth. Really cute character, right? But here's the thing. The people who made this character knew what they were doing. And so you get shots like that, and then you get shots like this. We never imagined the world could exist where each individual possessed its own set of emotions. What is the wish you will pay for with your soul? All of a sudden, this character doesn't seem cute anymore, right? Imagine if they went hard. This is someone going hard. This is what I'm showing you right now. This cute character in the right circumstances can be very unsettling. This character, when done right, can have an unsettling aura. There are so many shots in this show where the artists, the writers, it all comes together. They all knew what they were doing. You have moments like this. You have... like, look at this. This looks good and it looks unsettling. It looks creepy. It looks scary. They're doing this with a character that looks like this. And its name is QB. And it talks in a really high, cute voice. But the dialogue, what it talks about, the scenes, the composition, the subject matter, the stakes. Oh my goodness, the stakes in this show. If you don't know, Madoka Magica is all about subversion. It makes everything look cute, but then turns it on its head. It's not gruesome, it's not gratuitous. It's just really freaking good at what it does. This is what Sage should be. If they wanted Sage to look cute but eerie, they should have taken cues from QB. QB has a cute design, cute colors. It's not very like visually striking. It's nice and cuddly, but in the right hands, you can make very unsettling pieces with it. Look at this dialogue. What is the wish you will pay for with your soul? The implications of that sentence alone, that line alone, in this imagery of a dead world and this being that seems to be untouched by the destruction that has ravaged this setting. What happened here? What did he mean by this? They never say if QB's a he or a she. It, I guess. This is what Sage should be. But Sage doesn't look like this. They, like, Sonic Team, and they don't know what they're doing. This is the most Sage has ever looked, and part of the reason why is because the glitch is obscuring a lot of her face. When her face isn't obscured, it looks like that ball, that white ball from Pool. Look at this. She looks like one of those new Mii characters from Nintendo Switch Sports. Sega really likes the glitch. They've been going into it a lot this with this game. But yeah, I'm not very impressed with Sage's design at all. Hopefully that's just a artist decision, and I'm wondering if she's gonna be like redeemed in the story. I don't really feel either way. I don't care if she's redeemed or not. I just want it to be good. Still not convinced about the combat. I have not seen one iota of interesting platforming. My main issue with Sage, honestly, is that they made them look like a little girl. Sonic Team really doesn't know how terrible of an idea that was, since it's the Sonic fanbase. I'm not gonna go near that. What if she was like Midna? Bro, Midna's design goes unbelievably hard. They did not have to go that hard. Let me look up the design I know we're all thinking about. Midna... Midna went through so many different iterations. It's crazy. I actually have this in the book. Trying to get it to where there's no spoilers on the screen. Here we go. And let me get another picture of it. See here. Okay, here's a good picture. Alright. So Midna is great. Here we can see so many different designs they went through for her. All of them featuring a mask or an impish sort of, I guess you would call it, silhouette. Very, very, very unique, but also there's a cohesion to it all. There's an idea being conveyed here. There's a lot of emphasis on the eyes, the helmet, the impish figurine. And then what we ended up with, I kind of wish Sage was more like what? Say it. Little girl, like, giggly but sinister. See, that's what people would think. Like, this is what we ended up with. This is masterful. This is the design of the helmet and her impish silhouette, and she clashes with Twilight Princess's art style in the best way possible. She has a sinister aura about her, but as you go through the game, you know, her character gets fleshed out. And before Twilight Princess, before we saw Midna, I can guarantee you, no one in the entire world, unless they were tripping out on some kind of drugs, had ever seen anything like this before. It was entirely original, and it looks amazing. Now over here, where is it? I've misplaced it. Give me one sec. Here we have Sage. Sage is meh. Sage is very eh. I'm actually not going to bother finding the other version of Sage. Sage is going to have a final form, I swear, yeah. The thing is, like, there is a balance, though, because I don't want them to have, like, a Alma from Fear as the main villain for Sonic Frontiers, but I also don't want them to have Sage, a safe, not threatening at all character. I'm looking at fan art, and the fan art, like always, goes hard. Exactly. I don't know. I think that they were afraid, because I always get the sense that Sonic Team is afraid to try a lot of stuff because of a lot of the criticism they've received from the fan base. Sonic 06 continues to forever be a boogeyman, not just among fans, but among Sonic Team as well. Sonic Team, it feels like they want to stay as far away from that game as possible. I never understood why they didn't just go for the anime look like the Sonic OVA. Sonic OVA has cool human designs. We only see like 3 humans in the whole game, but they were okay. You could expand that. You could do more with that, but no, they don't. Also, it would require, you know, changing Sonic's art style and thus changing the model they've been using since 2005, and we know for a fact they're never going to do that. Not for as long as they possibly can. But yeah, I'm running out of stuff to talk about, to be honest. I've kind of rambled through this game. It's a bummer. I genuinely don't think this game is going to be good. I'm going to buy it. So here's the thing. I've said this on Twitter, but I don't know. I said it in The Hobbit. I'm going to buy Sonic Frontiers. I almost said Forces. No, thank you. I'm going to buy Sonic Frontiers. I'm going to, if I can stream it, which I very much doubt, I do not think my computer is capable of streaming this game. The scuff surely will be too gigantic, too strong for me to stream this game. But if I am able to stream this game, if my computer somehow pulls through and is able to play this game and stream it without hitching, I will stream the entire game. That is a promise. If the game can run and stream, I will stream it. If not, I will try to play for as much as I can, and if it cannot run, I will get a refund, and I'll watch somebody else play it. And I'm only going to do this for 2 reasons. One, I want to be able to accurately criticize this game. If people say, oh, well, you didn't play it, so you can't criticize it, I want to be able to avoid that. I also want... I'm doing it for the content. That's the big reason. I'm doing it for the content. But other than that, I'm not confident in this game at all. I'm buying it out of pity more than anything else. And for the content. If things don't go well, I'll stop playing it and I'll play a different game. If I can even play a different game. My computer's really messed up right now. But yeah, if I do end up playing the entire game, you can consider this stream part 0 of Sonic Frontiers. Yep. Well, I think that about does it. Unless do y'all have any topics about Sonic in general? The franchise, Frontiers at large, or the franchise at large, or Frontiers? Anything that y'all want to talk about at all? The game doesn't look like visually stunning, but I don't really care about that. This man gonna stop by my planet and say, "Hey, yo, this game is good." If Sonic Frontiers is good, I will sing it from the rooftops. If Sonic Frontiers ends up being a W, if it ends up being Kino, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be praising this game for all I'm worth. I do not believe that will happen, though. Anything y'all want to talk about Sonic? Man, I legit think that they're trying to bring the series in the right direction, but they gotta execute properly. Yeah, because I think that they're trying to make this game more serious. Everything that they've shown, because it's not a thing like Forces, where, now that I think about it, there wasn't too much stuff we knew about Forces. We knew that there was going to be a character creator. The premise was Eggman had won, and classic Sonic was going to be in the game. We didn't know much else. We didn't know much of... I mean, we knew Infinite and his theme song, but that was very misleading. Infinite ended up being a joke of a character. His design, voice actor, and theme song were the only good things about him. He's only good from a very surface level point of view. But Sonic Forces was very misleading in its advertising. Borderline false advertising. In fact, I do call it false advertising. I don't say borderline. It was false advertising. They knew that what people were going to think when they presented the advertising in the way that they did. They thought it was going to be a serious game, and it was not at all. However, Sonic Frontiers is very much presenting itself as a serious game. We've seen a lot of it, actually. Well, I say a lot. There could be stuff they haven't shown us. I'm so mad they brought Classic Sonic. He didn't need to be there at all. He added nothing to the story. Nothing. I'm surprised there's not a mod that completely, like, takes him out of the game. I don't know. But, I'm still mad about Chaos and Sonic Forces. Oh my god. Don't remind me. I hope whoever wrote that got fired. In fact, no, the guy who was writing the games, he did get fired. He was replaced by Ian Flynn. You know nothing, fools! It's Chaos! The god of destruction! Wahahahaha! Like, that is iconic. I will say that reminded me of something just now. I remember watching some videos criticizing modern Sonic, and there was a kid in the comments section. He's like 14 years old. I think he said his age or something. And he was talking about how he felt exactly the same way, even though he didn't grow up with a lot of the classic games. And I cannot tell you how validating that was to hear. That it's not just... like, I am competent in my own worldview. I'm competent that I can be objective and not succumb to nostalgia. But it was still validating to hear that even without that factor, people are still seeing the same things that we are seeing. Hello, Michaela. Good to see you. We're nearing the end of the stream. Who was it? Oh, I can find the video that I was watching, but it was a comment within the video. The video itself was made by JebTube. That's J-E-B Tube. All one word. And he did a series about Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Heroes. He has a playlist on it. It's called The End of a Dream, Sonic the Hedgehog. And that playlist goes hard. That playlist goes really hard. Now, mind you, they're not short videos. They're Sonic Adventure 1 video, it's an hour and 4 minutes. Sonic Adventure 2, an hour and 31 minutes. Sonic Heroes, an hour and 23 minutes. And the last video, it's 28 minutes. I'll round it up to 28 minutes. they're long videos, but I implore you to watch them all. It is critical to the tone of the last video requires, like, to completely appreciate the tone, it requires that you watch those videos. I did force Texan to watch. And Texan, tell me, do you regret it? Do you regret these videos? Oh yes, they were so good. Oh my goodness, these videos. Because, man, there's been a resurgence of people talking about Sonic, like talking about what Sonic's really like. And it's just refreshing that more people have been talking about Sonic in realistic terms. Sonic Mania is an exception. It's not the rule. I am confident that Sonic Forces will be more of what we've seen from Sonic Team for the last decade. Very confident about that. Oh yeah, there was a... I totally forgot about this. There was a mod for Sonic Generations that gives the... It was actually a collection of mods that... What's it called? It was a collection of mods that give you more precise control over Sonic in Sonic Generations. I'm watching it right now, and it's actually crazy what I'm seeing on my screen right now. Let me show it to you guys, actually. The fact they had to make a mod, yeah, exactly. Here it is. So, I'm just gonna let this play. So, this guy is not boosting at all. Notice how he's not boosting. He does boost, I think, in this video, but he's not boosting at all here. And look how much control he has. He's just and his momentum is carried over when it jumps. Look at this. He's just dodging and weaving. He has the bounce bracelet. His momentum carries over, unlike the base game where it just completely stops. He can competently just weave through this stuff. Look at it. He doesn't even need to use the speed pads. Here's Chemical Plant. He's not drifting. He doesn't need to drift. He just turns like a normal person. The bounce bracelet, why did they get rid of the bounce bracelet? That's the best upgrade in Sonic. Look how fast he's going he's not drifting. He doesn't have to drift. He goes super fast and he still maintains full control. Look at this Chad. Look at him. He bounces, dodges the bounce pad. He purposefully dodges the bounce pad. No drift, no boost. This man is astonishing creature. Hey Michaela, yeah, we could tell your name because it's on the screen. This mod, I was looking through the comments, and it's like a collection of different mods. I'll go ahead and put this in the chat so y'all can get it for yourself if you're interested. But I should not brush over this. So here's the page. POV, you can turn. Like, POV, you can turn. This man knows. He knows what he's doing. This person says it's revolutionary. He says, I love it when basic functions become revolutionary. Amazing how butchered the boost games feel when you introduce freedom. Absolutely. Good to see you, Texan. Really glad you joined this stream, especially this stream, because Sonic is very important to us. Sonic was the game that showed us what games could be. Peace, man. Thanks for watching. Sonic, when I played Sonic Adventure 2, it made me cry as a kid. the story to that game was excellent. I do see some issues with it nowadays, but it still stands the test of time, mostly. I think that's the best thing I could say about Sonic Adventure 2's story, is that it stands the test of time. Sonic games don't really have story anymore. It has dressing. Sonic Forces had the most story out of any game since Sonic Colors, and look how that turned out. But yeah. Well, if y'all don't have any other topics to speak about, I think this is it. I think we've reached the end. It's finally over. I've been ranting about Sonic the Hedgehog for 3 hours. What am I doing with my life? Oh, man. Yep. I think it's time to call it. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since this afternoon. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really glad that I was able to do this stream. Eat, dang it! Yeah, I gotta eat. I was really worried that this stream wasn't gonna have much cohesion, and I'm not gonna lie and say that it was the most structured stream I've ever done, or the most structured presentation I've ever done, but I hope that now y'all are able to understand my thoughts on Sonic. How it's not really a platformer anymore. It's not really about platforming, it's not about... I would venture to say it's not even about gameplay anymore. It's not about playing a game and beating it, it's about going on a roller coaster ride. That's what Sonic has become now. It hurts, but that's what it is. But we'll see if Sonic Frontiers is any good at all. I'm gonna go get something to eat. If I stream it, I do hope it works, because I am curious, but if it doesn't, I'll just watch Dimitri Monroe, Cess, the Chaos Spirit, Mr. Pasquale. I'll watch all of them play it. But yeah. Gotta go fast. What you see is what you get. I'm just a guy that loves adventure. Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, I miss memorable dialogue. I miss characters. I miss story. I kind of don't like ending the stream on a negative note, but it's Sonic the Hedgehog. What did you expect? But yeah, I still feel like a crazy person because everyone else thinks this game is going to be the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. But yeah. That does it. I hope y'all all have a wonderful night. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Oh, one more thing before I go. I don't know how I'm going to stream the game. I've been trying to make sure that I don't have to bounty hunt on that day. But I might have to the day it comes out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If that's how it works out, that I'm not able to do that, well then, too bad. But we'll see. Hello, person with a, I believe, is that Cyrillic? I cannot pronounce it. I am sorry. But we're just about ending the stream. Thank you for dropping by. If you want, you can watch the VOD. It'll appear after a little bit. But everyone, thank you so much for everybody coming by. Thank you for hearing me rant about Sonic the Hedgehog for 3 hours. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate all of your attention. I appreciate everyone, entertaining me, entertaining my rant. Like, yeah, I'll watch this guy. Maybe that'll make him feel better. He rants about Sonic for 3 hours. Obviously, this guy's made some horrible choices. But yes. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Take care. Take care. Good night, Marambek. Marambek. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Good night. Good night, everybody. See you all later. Goodbye.